Good afternoon, Dylan. It is Monday, May 18th, 2015. I really enjoyed your last video, Dylan. I think it really met the qualifications of being a silly video. Is it up to the standard of the rest? How can you judge silly videos with a parameter such as that? That's something that each one has to be judged by individually. Something that, I don't think there is one qualifying factor that makes it a silly video or a not silly video or a good or bad one. So congratulations, keep up the good work. In your video, you also mentioned how I'm not the silly one. At first I was really upset by that. But after about 13 seconds of thought and contemplation, I realized how true that statement is. I'm not the silly person. I never was in our group. Not exactly 100% sure what I was, but I definitely wasn't the silly one. We had others that took up that role. I mean, I might have been the witty, or the clever, or the dumb, or the smart, or the team leader. I don't have a clue. Don't really care either. I just like doing and being who and what I am, letting the rest of the world fall in place around me. I really don't know how that sounds, but it doesn't sound very humble. And I'm fine with that. One comment that has lingered with me a little bit longer than the previous one I just mentioned was how you said the past helped make you a better person. That's a sentence that boggles my mind for some reason. And I think it has to do with the fact that the past already happened. So how can it make you better? It made you who you are. That's it. Unless you mean one past version of yourself is now better than an earlier past version of yourself, then I guess it makes sense. Otherwise, it doesn't. The future and the present is what makes you a better person than the past, which is, a constantly changing series of events, constantly changing thing. So maybe that's why I don't quite understand it. There are too many variables, there's too much in flux for that conversation, or that statement to hold true. Perhaps whenever I go back to my parents for a pig roast, which should happen shortly after our 1-year anniversary of doing these videos, I could show you the places where I used to hang out as a child. Dylan, you give me way too much credit in your last video for figuring out what was going on. In all honesty, I was just driving down the road trying to come up with a topic for this video, for the previous video. When all of a sudden in the back of my mind, this light bulb went off that said, hey, I should totally talk about habits and routines and whatever else I happen to speak of. That wasn't really me consciously thinking of a topic. That was a subconscious thought, which is weird because that's where a lot of my best and brightest ideas seem to come from. Weird that a lot of my best and brightest ideas come from my subconscious. I'm not sure if that's, some big important deal or not. I really don't have a clue. It just seems weird to me now that I think back on it. I don't do anything to try and make that happen. I actually can spend a lot of time focusing on certain ideas and theories to try and understand them. And then out of nowhere, bam! The idea shows up. Confuses the heck out of me. All the freaking time. Well, Dylan, I appear to have come to the end of the road, and I'm guessing this is also the end of the video. I guess I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good one.